Wow, what a year. I mean, it was just, what a year. I think we can all agree we haven't seen anything like it, and I think I can agree. I really think 2021, when even if it doesn't start off great, but hopefully gets better as the year goes on. Bring it on. That's the world I want to live in, man. Well, if I can say one thing that made this year worth going through, it would be with the movies. Yeah, some were delayed till next year with everything going on, but the ones that did come out were not only highlights of the year in general, but set a good standard for other movies in the decade to come. These are the 10 films that shone the brightest to make a year that was terrible feel worth it. I'm Charlie Lipinski, and these are the top 10 best movies of 2020. Number 10, Sonic the Hedgehog. When the first trailer was released last year in April, many fans were like, no. Especially when Sonic's design for the movie looked terrible. But after a redesign which pushed the movie to come out this year, not only was the redesign worth it, but it also made the best movie based off a video game in a long time. What makes the Sonic movie such an enjoyable surprise is that it stays true to what the fans love about Sonic. A blue hedgehog going into battle against Dr. Robotnik with some amazing voice acting, especially Jim Carrey from Dr. Robotnik. Sure, the story isn't the most original we've seen this year. Yeah, and Maddie could have used a bit more screen time, but everything else made this movie at least a big surprise. Seeing how it went and quickly to get a new design. And Sonic went fast at a good record as one of the best movies based off a video game. Number 9, Trolls World Tour. I would call this one of the most unluckiest movies of 2020, since it was the first film that was pushed from its theatrical release onto demand, and which is really disappointing, especially how good the movie actually is. What makes this a worthy sequel to the first film is that like Sonic, it gives what the fans the first one, and the trolls being their fun and self, as well as some colourful and slightly better animation. Sure, the story we seem similar to Endgame, aim for kids, but it's still is also a minor problem with it can easily be passed by. It doesn't matter what type of music you're into, you can easily rock out with this sequel. Number 8, The Christmas Chronicles 2. Christmas movies. We've had so many this year that I've looked over, and I can happily say that this sequel to the 2018 Netflix hit is definitely my favourite. What makes this a great sequel to the first Christmas Chronicles, in my opinion, is that it focuses a lot more on the world build of where Santa is and gives some nice visual effects, especially with the North Pole, making it look more creative than what you would think from a movie. Also, the characters themselves offers for some enjoyability for the film. Sure, it doesn't start off as great as the first one and does look weaker than the first. But once Kate and Jack enter the North Pole, that's when things really start to pick up. And seeing how good this is a film that everyone would want from Netflix claws. Number 7, Over the Moon. Netflix has released a lot of animated films this year, which can be mixed. Some can be decent, like the Willoughbys. While others can be terrible or you don't know what to think of them, like the Love Island movie. But not only is this one of their best, but it's also one of their most creative movies. These Over the Moon does more than a typical animated Netflix film would do. Showing the Chinese legends of Chang'e in a way that no one could actually imagine, on top of with some of the most beautiful animation of the year. Some likeable characters. As a weak start, like Christmas Chronicles too. But then when Fei Fei reaches the moon, it gets better. And some of the best songs of the year. Is this the point? Then that Netflix it's exclusive to. But I think this was a start when Netflix started releasing their movies, not just to their streaming service, but to select cinemas and theatres around the world. If you want something creative to look at this year, you need to take on your rocket to the moon and visit this ultra-luminary film. Number 6. The one and only Lee Ivan. There were a lot of movies that were based off a true story by Disney this year. There were 2 that did it really well, but the one that I'm going to talk about was a really good one. Well, would have to be this one. Not only does the one and only Ivan stay true to the source material the movie is based on, but it stays true to the legend bit by bit. It offering a creative story to go with it. Yes, some things may not all be true about the movie, but what is true is also a great use of what the year can offer. With some its most creative visuals and on top of that, some very memorable characters. So we don't get many movies about gorillas, but when we do, Ivan can be one of the only great movies about those animals. Number 5, Dolittle. When the first trailer was released last year in October, many people didn't know what to think of this movie. When people saw it, some weren't a big fan of it, but to me, I actually think it's actually a really good movie. What Dolittle offers is is a lot of creativity with its characters and story building. Getting better as the story would go on, and offering some of the most amazing looking visuals Universal could ever put out. Sure, some of the characters aren't as great as in other Universal movies, but the ones that shine, like Dr. John Dolittle himself, Alf, make those problems just nitpicks. I understand why not many people would like it, but I think it's worth checking because it actually does more than it does little. Number 4, Togo the Untold True Story. Okay, technically I am cheating on this one since this was released in the US at the end of last year, but seeing as Disney Plus came out in the UK this year and this was one of their originals, it counts. And anyway, a Togo the Untold True Story is not only a great movie with staying true to the story as well as offering some nice characters and amazing visuals, but it's one of those original films based off a true story that tries its best to stay true to the source material it's based on showing a lot at what the movie could offer, and not only offer it in the best way possible, but it also offers it in a highly creative way. Staying true to the legend of Togo, and how he tried his best to do a mission which almost risked its life. If you want a film that tries to stay its true story as most as you can, and then this Slay Dog is the one for you. Number 3, Thomas and Friends, Marvelous Machinery. Technically, again, I will kind of cheating on this one since it is just 2 specials together. But some people say that even though this Discoveries was 45 minutes last year with it being 2 specials combined together and calling it a film, then it kind of does count in that rank. Anyways, but back onto Marvelous Machinery. Not only is this an improvement from Dick's and Discoveries, but it does offer for some of the most creative things in the movie. Sure, Sunny might start off being in kind of like skiff from Odo's Legend of the Lost Treasure, but then as the film would go on, you would learn to enjoy more of his character, and then as season 24 comes on, he becomes a nice, interesting character where he just wants a second chance. And while the story ain't the strongest, in fact we've seen this before, it does offer some moments in Thomas that do offer some nice creativity. With some inventions that are great with no pun intended, this special is absolutely marvellous. Number 2, the Mulan remake. Disney has made a lot of remakes, and not only is this one of their best, but it's one of their few that is actually better than the original. No, okay, one of their only one and style better than their original. Anyway, Ace, what makes Mulan an amazing movie is that it takes a lot of changes, yet it makes the original source material work. Offering some beautiful scenery. On top of some Disney's best visuals in the world, top it off with some nice new characters added to fit the movie, and you'll get a lot out of it. Some can and said that it did have a lot of dishonor before it came out, which I won't get onto because I don't want it to be longer than it already is. But you can just forget about the controversy and just enjoy this movie as it is, because despite the changes, this remake brings honour to us all. Now, before we get on to the best movie of 2020, I'd like to have an honourable mention. And that honourable mention is going to go to Zombies 2. This was Disney Channel's last year for the UK. So this for the UK was their last original movie. And not only did they offer a high note, but they actually made a sequel called better than the original. Zombies 2 is a really creative sequel where it goes into the history of other monstrous creatures known as the werewolf, and asks the question about Addison's white hair that the film keeps going on about to make it more engaging. And also it does offer some really good songs that can be on par with the original movie, as well as some highly creative visuals for a Disney Channel film. Sure, but it is a problem for the movie, and the story just got a slight upgrade. But other than that, this film is very creative. Whether you're on Team Pom, Team Zombie, or Team Werewolves, this Disney Channel sequel is the one for you. And the number one best movie of 2020 is Onward. Like Trolls World Tour, this can be another unlucky movie, since its time in cinemas was short-lived due to the pandemic hitting big during March. But not only did Pixar offer a great movie, but they offered one of their most heartfelt ones. The reason why Onward is the best movie of the year is that it's so emotional from beginning to end, offering heart and creativity, and as well as some amazing animation, offering a very emotional story, and an ending that can get teary. Yes, Pixar's done another movie, but I have not yet been able to watch that film. And I actually will give a review to it next month if I do see it sometime then. And actually, I will do that I promise, Miss. But even if some people think Soul is better than this, that doesn't stop Onward with being amazing. For Onward 100, the #1 best movie of 2020. And that's all I got for the top 10 best movies of 2020. Well, I'm totally glad this year is over. Let's see what 2021 has to offer movie-wise. Let's see. Tom and Jerry might actually work. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Ryan the Last Dragon, easily one of my most anticipated animated films next year. Minions: The Rise of Gru. After seeing the first trailer, I do think it can actually be enjoyable. Luca, a very creative idea that Pixar's going for. And seeing how they did good to Mexico with Coco, let's see if they can do the same to Luca. And Anto, I have no idea what it is about at the moment, and I'm excited to find out. Black Widow, please don't have this delayed again next year. The Internals. Actually, we got some hope for this one. Space Jam: A New Legacy. I don't remember watching the first one, so we'll see. Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway. I'm excited for that one. I do like the first one, and I'll probably like that one. And the Boss Baby Family Business. At the moment, I like the first one, but I'm a bit iffy of what I'm going to think of the sequel. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and Happy New Year!